Marine Mammal Center has a hotline that responds to calls all up and down the coast of California. We cover over 600 miles of coastline. And we get calls from the public mostly, and they'll tell us when they see entangled animals out there. This is fishermen or kayakers or people on whale watch boats that see these animals and report them to us. Additionally, we usually have a team that goes out at least once a month to look for animals that are entangled in order to disentangle them. So most of the time we have 2 or 3 areas that we commonly see animals that are entangled, and we'll just go out looking at those points. Normally, what people use for tracking land animals is a transmitter that works in air. It essentially uses radio waves, but radio waves don't transmit underwater. And that's where we figured out that we could attach this acoustic transmitter instead to the dart, and then we can actually use a hydrophone to track those animals. So essentially what we needed was a way to take an existing pinger, essentially, it's an acoustic transmitter, and couple it to an existing dart. And we had worked with a company to try to make that piece, but we weren't really getting a lot of results that were effective, I think just because they weren't that familiar with the animals that we were dealing with. And that's where we brought the project in-house and started to work on it and actually build that housing to essentially couple those 2 pieces together. So when I initially took it on, I started trying to just build the piece just from an existing piece of tubing, essentially. And we had something that was working, but it took a long time to make and wasn't very effective. And we needed something that was going to be stable, easy to build, and something we could reproduce. I mean, we're doing this work, but there's a lot of people really all over the world that are interested in being able to do this. So we needed to make something that anyone could use. And that's when I initially started going to a place called Tech Shop in the city, and they introduced me to Autodesk's Inventor software, which was the first time I'd really done any real CAD work. And so I started using that to design, and that couples really nicely with 3D printing. So I was able to start building these simple models to figure out whether or not we could make something work. A couple of the people that Autodesk gave us to work with on this project work at the Pier 9 facility. And it's interesting, I spend a lot of time walking right by there and had no idea that existed. But the Pier 9 facility has endless 3D printers and CNC machines and a variety of people to work with that equipment. We hear about entangled sea lions and fur seals all over the place. So we're really trying to get a product into people's hands that is easy to use and something that most people can either print or build on their own. So that's where we're kind of working with Autodesk to build a functional model that we can provide more easily to other people to sort of improve our ability to disentangle animals all over the world.